As we're waiting for the lights, here they come. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. And we are away for the 5th race of the OFR Division 1 Season 1 race. So AJ actually got a pretty good start. Leica's gone to the inside line and he's defending it. And Tommy is going to be on his outside, but I don't think he's going to make a move here because it will be a bit dangerous. Looks like it's nice and clean through turn 1. Tommy ran the outside and he actually gets the position change done. So Tommy moves into 2nd place on the 1st lap and Leica is down into 3rd. Now Max has dropped down 2 places. I'm not really sure what happened there. But other than that, I think it was all pretty clean. So I'm just riding on board with Leica now to see how Tommy gets on these soft tyres. But I think that was a pretty good start with a few drivers making up a few places. Jan has moved at 1, Santi's moved at 1, Tommy gets a little bit of a lock up into turn 5 there. Max has dropped down 2 unfortunately, Stinson moved at 1 and Havoc dropped down 1 also, and Mats has stayed the same in last place. He did start on this hard, remember though, so he might not have got a good start as the others. Anything happening down the field? No, it doesn't look like it. So Santi was the closest on track, but he's moved away. We've got yellow flag in sector 2. It looks like Stinson. Oh no!
Stinson has spun around turn 9. I don't know what happened. I'm pretty sure he was hit by someone when he tried to go on the inside to try and overtake, but I'm not quite sure. Then we have Maximus fighting for position against Santi. And he's going to be trying his hardest. He has his ERS set to 2, but I don't know if he's going to try and make a move down the main straight or when he's going to try and contest for position.
Fair enough. So I'm just riding on board with Leica right now because he's only 4 tenths behind on the straight. He is catching Tommy, but I don't think he's going to be able to do anything on this time round because they still have so much fuel in these cars. They are super heavy and they're not going to benefit that much from the tow, and Tommy stays ahead for now. But I'm just going to quickly move down to Santi because Santi spun! Santi has spun! Oh, that's unfortunate.
That's going to be on Yan. I noticed on the inside, Santi was trying to pass Yan on the inside, and Yan basically closed the door and made him spin off. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but Santi does have front wing damage. I think he might have to come into the pits to try and get a new one. That might affect his race.
That's unfortunate. So Stinson has already moved back up to 8th place now, so he will gain a position because Santi spun out. We're having a bit of a glitch with the timing sheet right now, so I can't see the interval between these drivers, but I am just going to quickly cycle through them. So Jan's a bit far behind Leica, not going to make a move. Leica's a bit close to Tommy, so we'll keep an eye on that. Max is right on the gearbox of Jan right now, as they're on lap 2 going through turn 12, as Leica's come off. Leica has come off at turn 12, and he's back on track though, he's back on track. Let's see if his teammate, yep, Havoc has gone down the inside of him, and Havoc will overtake him. Let's see how close. Mats is pretty close behind as well, so he might be able to take advantage. Let's see if Leica comes into the pits. No, Leica's staying out. He's staying out, so I don't think his tyres would have got too overheated. He did come off at turn 12, unfortunately, but he is back up to racing. Wow.
And now DRS is being enabled for all the drivers as we go into the 3rd lap of this race. Mats is getting close to both Williams, trying his best to keep his ERS manageable and also trying to contest for position as well. Moving up to Maximus. Maximus is going to be contesting for position against Yan the Man. He is right behind him, 2.5 seconds.
So he's as they're coming up to turn 7 here, he's just 3 tenths behind. Max gets a bit scruffy and touches the gravel on his rear right as he's going through turn 8. Both lifting a bit more than they did in quali as they go around turn 9. Max a little bit more because he's got that dirty air in front of him, but he is still pretty close. He's only 7 tenths behind with his DRS open there. Just looking up the field, it looks like Leica and Havoc are the next closest on track, so I'll just ride on board with these two and see if Leica's going to get an overtake done, because I think he might be able to as they're going down the main straight. We've got yellow flag in sector 3. Santi has left the session. Wow.
Tommy has gone off. Tommy's out. He retired.
Tommy's out. There's
a virtual
car,
safety car.
Okay, so that's going to help bunch the drivers back up. I'm quickly just going to go to the pause menu and invite Santi again, because I think he might have had a connection issue. So I'm just riding on board with Leica if you want to commentate there.
Yep, I'll be happy to. Leica's heading into the pits. Yan the Man has had a drive-through penalty, speeding under the virtual safety car. Leica's heading into the pits right now, trying to get some fresher tires and a new front wing maybe. That's really going to affect this race. Like I said, anything can happen. Yes.
So what tires is he putting on?
He's putting on the medium tires.
Okay.
That's going to be an interesting strategy.
Yeah, there's still a virtual safety car as well, so he wouldn't have been affected affected by that as much as a usual stop. He probably gained about 10 seconds compared to his usual stop there. So although he's in 7th place, technically in last because I think Santi left, hopefully Santi will rejoin soon.
Hopefully.
As soon as these guys in front of like a pit, like is going to move back up. I think he'll move back up into 4th place actually, because I think it's about 22 seconds for a pit stop, and he's only, let's see, 16. He's only about 24 seconds behind. So if he can keep these tyres alive, he has a chance for the undercut here. But right now, I'll switch back to Jan and Max because these two are battling pretty hard right now. Jan very close behind, Max very close behind Jan, sorry, as they go around turn 12. Jan goes a little bit wide, but Max follows him on that wide line. Going to be suffering again from that dirty air. He turns into turn 13. Max gets a far better entry and exit out of 13, even though he's following Jan. And I think Max may be able to get an overtake done. Jan's coming into the pit, so Jan is in the pits right now. Let's just switch to Jan and see if he's doing any wing changes, because he was going a bit slow through there. I don't think he is. Where's his pit box? I think he's got quite a while to go. So we're going to probably see Leica not overtake Jan here, but he will be right behind him, I think, when he comes out. This is a really long pit lane. Ah, Jan's doing his drive-through penalty. That's what it is. Ah, okay. So Jan got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car, and he's just done that.
Mats also had a drive-through penalty.
So Leica might be battling Mats as he comes out of the pits. Let's see. Mats has come out now. Where's Leica? No, he's come out behind him, unfortunately. But he might be on the attack through turn 3. Let's wait and see. He's right behind him right now. Now, have Mats's tyres cooled down a bit too much? I don't think so. Leica's gaining. He's gaining on him a lot, but he's not going to be able to overtake now. So Mats keeps that position.
If I know Leica, I don't think he's going to be giving up that easily to Mats, since he has gained some time on him because of Mats' drive-through penalty. But I think Mats might have played the smarter game being on the hard tire here, because he will have to pit significantly later than a majority of the grid, since he is the only car who is on the hard tire currently, and this is a very hot track. So anyone on the soft tire might have wanted to increase their tire pressure, otherwise their tires will wear down significantly quicker than everyone else. Can we jump to Stinson real quick?
Yeah, I'm riding on board with Stinson right now. Havoc got super messy out of turn 16, and Stinson's already performing an overtake before they even got to the finish line. So Stinson has overtaken. He has got DRS as well, and his ERS is set to overtake. So I don't think Havoc's going to come back at that, because Stinson has a far better straight line speed there. No, I think Havoc's giving up that position, and Stinson is going to get away. So he's already in 3rd place, moving up 5 positions. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3. It looks like one of the Williams has... But is that Leica? Is Leica spun on the pit straight?
Leica spun, yeah.
Jumping to Leica now. Yeah, it looks like he spun out of turn 16. He's back. He doesn't have any damage, I don't think. Maybe his front right end plate is missing. Not entirely sure. Maybe you could get a better look at that. But yeah, Leica's spun
his
again.
front right end plate is gone. He's not going to have a whole lot of downforce pulling those left turns. His right front end plate has just disappeared. I think he hit the wall a bit on that pit entry. As he goes into the gravel, you can really see that loss of downforce on the car. That's really going to affect his time here in Barcelona.
Oh, he's gone wide again. He's gone wide again.
Oh! And he's spun once again. As he hits the wall and takes off more of his front wing. I think he's trying his best not to spin out once again.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. So I'm going to jump away from Leica for now and just slowly move up the field. So Mats has got an 8-second gap between 7th place, so I doubt anything's going to happen there. Those drive-through penalties really affected those guys. So Jan's coming... Do you want to mute your mic for a sec? Jan is coming into the pits right now.
Jan coming into the pits. He's going to be going on the medium tire. He doesn't need a new front wing, I don't think. But Mats is going to take that opportunity to overtake on a hard tire. But I don't think he's going to be doing much overtaking after that, since he is 17 seconds behind Havoc. Only the 7th lap of the race, and we already have such a big gap between the drivers. I'm pretty sure the only things that can affect the race now is if someone spins or DNFs.
Yeah, so we just got confirmation that Santi had a power cut, unfortunately. And he said he'll join back if his power comes back, but right now he's just on his mobile talking to us on Discord, so that's really unfortunate there. Let's hope that his AI that's set to 0 driving around the track doesn't cause anyone any problems. But like it is in the pits right now, what tyres is he putting on? He's changed his wing and he's gone back on the medium tyres, is that? I think it is.
I'm not sure. I think he's staying on the hard tire. Yes, he's staying on the hard tire as he gets a new front wing.
So here comes Santi's AI down, or is that AJ? I'm not quite sure. I think it's Santi's AI.
I believe, no, that's Santi's AI as he goes around, but Lika will take this opportunity to overtake and get the position back. But that AI seems to be giving him a bit of trouble as he goes around the outside.
Yeah, he's gone around it now. So Havoc is currently in the pits. So I think Mats is going to retake that position there and move up to 4th place. I also think that Jan has a chance to jump Havoc here as well, because Havoc is changing his... Oh, I think he was serving a penalty. That was a very long pit stop, and here comes Jan flying past him on the main straight right now. So yeah, Havoc's lost out to Jan too. So let's just quickly check everyone's stop. So everyone stopped apart from the top 4. The top 4 haven't stopped yet. AJ is 11 seconds ahead of Max, and Stinson is now on the back of Max's gearbox. So I'm going to jump to Stinson and see if he can do anything against Max in the Red Bull. So they've just come down to turn 10 right now. Stinson has this way of braking into turn 10, which is just phenomenal. He brakes so late and in such a straight line that he can brake at about 60 meters. It's really amazing to see. I don't know how he does it. But
do his tires lock up?
No, he doesn't lock up at all. It's amazing. Next time he's there, have a look and you can see. But Max has pulled away slightly. He's 1.7 seconds ahead. Stinson's got his ERS set to high, so he is on the attack. But he has got a lot of ERS, bear in mind. He has got 85%, so maybe he was doing a bit of reservation there on that last lap. AJ's got a really good lead so far as well. So we're about a third, just under a third of the way through, and I think AJ's going to take this one. Unless it's a safety car and they bunch back up, I think AJ has got this covered.
AJ might have this race in the bag, but like we said before, anything can happen, and you got to keep in mind, there will be slight rain at the end of the session, and in my experience, even a little bit of rain can make a damp track undrivable on these slick tires. But we'll just have to see how the drivers handle it and how many of them decide to switch to the intermediates. And Tommy leaving the session after his terrible DNF. But that's racing at this point.
Yep,
Stinson is on the attack still, trying his best to catch up as they go through the DRS zone and approach who I believe to be is Leica, who is about to be lapped by both Stinson and Maximus.
Is it? Okay, I'll quickly jump to Leica and have a look, because that's surprising. Yeah, Leica's just come around turn 16, yeah. So he is on those hard tyres.
Stinson is going to get DRS as he keeps on the attack. He still has his DRS set to high whenever he goes onto the straight, but I think as he gets closer, he might want to switch it to overtake to try and get that extra power.
Yeah, watching Leica, I just don't think he's in the right mindset today as Stinson moves under a second behind Max. Leica's getting a bit scruffy. He's on the straight there. He actually went onto the grass ever so slightly. He needs to just clear his head and continue racing, because it's not over, and all it takes is one safety car and he's back in the fight for the top 5. He's 42 seconds behind his teammate, but he has stopped twice, so that would put him about 20 seconds behind, but that's still... you know, that's not the usual Leica performance we see. But anyway, let's hope he fights back and gets it back as well. But for now, Stinson is just 3/10 behind Max, going into turn 10, almost around the outside, but I think he realised that was a bit too ambitious. Turning into turn 11, he's driving extremely slowly, Stinson is, because of Max in front of him. I think he's definitely going to get the overtake done now, so I'm going to ride on board with Stinson, and let's watch them both go through turn 16, and let's see if Stinson can get a better exit.
And Stinson is a controller driver, isn't he?
That's correct. Max is on the G29 and Stinson is on the controller, but this is it. It's all over. Stinson is about to perform the overtake on Max. Is Max going to move to defensive position? No, he's not. Stinson's got his DRS open and he's done that overtake before they start going downhill, actually. About 350 meters before the corner. He's gone a little bit deep into turn 1 and 2, but he's kept the line. He's got more downforce, and Max is not giving up. He's still a bit close behind, but you can see how much he's losing out with that dirty air, pushing him a bit wider than he wants to. Has to turn in a little bit early into turn 4, as he usually would, to make sure that he doesn't go wide because of that dirty air. But yeah, I think Stinson is going to be moving away now. So it's now just Stinson 13 seconds behind AJ. Is there anything going on a bit further down the field?
There isn't much, honestly. Havoc, I'm pretty sure he knows how far behind Yan he is, but he will be trying his best to try and catch up. Yan dropping down from 10 seconds to about 9 seconds per lap. I think he's gaining on Max by 1 second per lap since Max is on the harder tire. I think even though the field looks a little bit boring now, I think as we go on and these pit stops start coming in, I think a lot is going to change, and we might see Lika back on top fighting for positions.
Yeah, I agree. So Stinson has already taken out a second on AJ's lead. He was 13.5 behind, and he's already 12.8, 12.9 now as they go down the straight. But yeah, I think if there's no safety car, I think Stinson could catch AJ by about lap 25, I think. And then it's going to be a fight to see who goes onto the softs and who can stay on the mediums the longest, so they get fresher softs towards the end of the race. But yeah, the race is quieting down a bit now, so let me just go through some stats as we're just riding on board with Max. And let's see what Max's stats are like this season. So we've already done his... He's only got one fastest lap this season. I'm not sure, can't remember what race that was in. It might have been Baku, because I think he put on some softs at the end of the race and tried to... get that fastest lap, and I think he did as well. His worst finish is only 8th place, so that's not bad. His best finish is 2, and his best quality position is 2 as well. Moving down to Leica, so... Oh, we got yellow flag in Sector 2. Has someone come off? No, everyone's still on?
No,
not sure what that was.
That was just Leica moving out of the way as he was lapped by both Stinson and Max. That might not be good for his self-esteem and his confidence right now. I honestly agree with what you were saying before. Leica might not be in the right headspace this race. He seems to be having some trouble and going fairly slowly through all of these turns. I think he's just lost confidence that he has any position in this race, but he doesn't want to give up quite yet. I think he's going to be trying his best to catch up to his teammate Havoc, but he's dropped down by about a second per lap as he drops from 42 seconds to 45 seconds. It's quite amazing,
and that's to his teammate too, and he is usually about half a second a lap quicker than his teammate. So can you see if he's running with any damage at all, or?
Well, it doesn't look like he has any damage at all. His front wing looks perfectly fine. That's the thing. I think it just might be the mindset that he's in, because I'm watching him go around these turns and he's going around fairly slower than he did in qualifying. In qualifying, you could probably see how much he was blitzing this track, attacking every single corner as much as he could, but now he's just going for a Sunday drive. And I think that might have affected his confidence a bit since he spun out and had to pit because of damage.
Yeah, twice in fact. So Leica's average quality position is 5, and his average race position is 6. So he's only 1 down on his average finish position, but he can do a lot better. His worst finish is only 9. His worst finish, sorry, is 9th. Yeah, he's had 2 DNFs already this season, which is not great, and only 1 podium. As we see Max come into the pits now. Now, he was only 24 seconds ahead of Mats, so let's see if Mats's early pit is going to help him out here, because... Oh, Mats hasn't pitted yet. He had a drive-through penalty, of course, yes. So Max is pitting. Let's see if he can get out ahead of Mats. Mats is just going through turn 14 and 15 now. He's going to be absolutely flying as he comes through 16. Mats is almost at the pit exit. He's now going back up to speed, and Mats is just crossing the line. So no, Mats won't be able to take Max there, unfortunately. But again...
I'm pretty sure... I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm pretty sure it was Max's idea to follow Stinson into the pit lane because they've both gone on the hards right now.
Yes.
And I definitely think that it was a strategic idea, because if he would have gone into the pits after Stinson would have had a chance to get an undercut and come out ahead of Max. And I don't think Max wanted to risk that.
Indeed. So just to give a shout out to Simon as well, who's joined us on the stream. He's my teammate in D2, and yeah, he also agrees that yeah, like is not his usual performance today. So yeah, we'll just have to keep an eye on that. But so there's only two guys. AJ's pitting. AJ is in the pits right now. So let's see how far ahead he comes out of Stinson. Remember, he was about, I think it was 14 seconds, was it, or 12 seconds ahead. Stinson's not even got to turn 14 yet, and AJ's already out of the pits. He is going to have Leica or Havoc in front of him, but he should get blue flags, and he should be able to move out of the way as quick as possible. So let's see as Stinson crosses the line. We're not getting updated times yet. It still says there you go, it's 13 seconds. So AJ did actually manage to do a pretty good in-lap there. Actually, it's dropped down to 11.7. So Stinson must be pushing pretty hard because he's taken 2 seconds out of AJ there. AJ's gone on to the hard tyre 2, and they'll be 1 lap younger than Stinson, so that may play a part towards the end of the race.
Well, Leica is in front of AJ as of right now, so I think Leica might affect AJ's time a little bit, cause him to slow down because he will have to overtake, and that might be a bit more difficult in the more technical parts of the track because there is not a whole lot of space to go on these turns, and there aren't many opportunities to overtake, so that will help Stinson on his attack on AJ.
Yeah, that is right, but we also have to remember that, well, okay, I suppose it depends exactly where he gets past, and as long as Stinson gets past in a almost as difficult position, it should be okay. But right now, I don't think he's going to be affected too much by the dirty air, because Leica's not getting any blue flags, and he looks like he's about 3 or 4 seconds ahead. So I don't think it's going to be affecting him too much, but AJ is catching him. You can see that quite clearly in the stream right now. And we just have to hope, I suppose, in the end, that it takes Stinson the same amount of time that it takes AJ, so we don't have blue back markers, affecting the outcome of the race too much. But Stinson has taken another second out of AJ's time there. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3. It looks like Havoc has come off. He's come off at the exit of turn 12. He's lost, I don't think he's lost his front wing. No, his front wing's still intact.
No. His front wing is perfectly fine. He has come off. I think he lost the rear end coming around turn 12, and he went into the grass. That will heat up his tires quite a bit as he takes care heading around turn 16 as he gets back into the race.
Yep. So that's gonna. So his teammate was 41 seconds behind. Let's see where it puts him now. I don't. Is the gap still staying at 41 seconds? Did Leica make a mistake too? I'm not entirely sure. But
I don't think so. Oh, it went down by 11 seconds.
Oh yeah, there you go. It's come down by 11 seconds. That will help Leica out a bit if Havoc will pit again. But right now, AJ is a bit closer to Leica now.
I think Leica might be getting some blue flags somewhere in the middle of sector 2. I think approaching turn 9. That based on AJ's pace, he's on the attack as much as he can. Stinson setting the fastest lap of the session, a 121.349 on the hard tire.
And that is 5/10 faster than AJ's fastest time too. So there we go. Stinson is coming.
I think we might have a new championship rival on our hands. Sure, Stinson did join later on into the season, but I think AJ might have met his match with this one. We just need to see some direct competition between the two, which we might see near the end of this race. So that will be fairly interesting to see if Stinson can catch AJ.
And again, he's taken out another second out of AJ's time. So he was 10.8. Leica's let him through at turn 10. Leica's gone deep into turn 10 and let him through. So if he can do the same for Stinson, then that would be the best thing to do. That way they would have both had an equal chance of staying behind him. But let's hope Stinson stays behind him for the 4 laps that AJ was behind him too. That's what we need to keep an eye on. Looking at down the field, there is quite big gaps between everyone. AJ getting a little scruffy as he's going through 14 and 15 there, but he's managed to correct everything and he's back up to speed as Stinson is just coming through turn 15 now. So AJ lost about 6/10 behind Leica there. But again, as long as Stinson loses somewhere similar, we should be okay. So we've already passed halfway now. AJ's coming up to the back of his teammate's AI. Let's hope it doesn't cause him any problems. Nope, it's let him pass. That's good. It's let him pass nice and early. So Leica will be approaching that AI soon. Going to jump to Leica and see if it gets in his way. I don't think it will. Another thing that we're watching too is that Leica is not using any of his ERS. His ERS is currently at 92% and he's riding low. So I don't think he's pushing at all. I think he's just trying to nurse these tyres to the end of the race.
I think he might have a feeling that he doesn't have a chance to win the race, so he might just want to get some points in this 7th place finish. Which is honestly fairly smart. If you can't win the race, then at least try to get the race finished. He's dropped his ERS down to 0. I think he's going to try and get some ERS in the 3rd sector.
But he's already on 95%. I'm not sure what he needs the ERS for. Why is he not?
I don't know.
This is strange. This is very strange to see.
I think he might just want to go for a fastest lap. So he might be building up his ERS as much as possible so he could go pit in on the softs and try and get a fastest lap of the session, which I know he'd be able to do.
That's a good point. Yeah, he might be doing that. He has set his ERS back up to overtake now. One thing that we are seeing in front is that Stinson is not catching AJ a second a lap. It's currently about, okay, last lap it was 4/10. This lap he hasn't caught him at all. There's only 14 laps left, including this one. So I don't think that Stinson's going to be able to catch AJ. And this is all going to be down to Stinson's qualifying lap. Because he spun and didn't set a lap, he had to fight his way through the field, and that allowed AJ just to pull away.
And what an amazing fight it has been so far. Can we just take a second real quick? Young Stinson was behind Max by what seemed to be about 10 seconds. And then he pit, and now he's ahead of Max by the same amount of time. I think Max is going to, also on another note, I think Max is going to be trying to catch his teammates on the older hards. 18 laps his hards have been, but he seems to be trying his best to catch up to his teammate and take a podium spot. But I don't think it's going to be as easy as he thinks.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from there. So Stinson again, he's only taken 5/10 out this lap. If he continues that, that's only going to be 30. It's only going to be 7 seconds at the end of the race, and he's currently 9.3 behind, so he's not going to make it. And let us not forget that AJ's tyres are 1 lap younger too, so it's going to be a mistake from AJ. That's what's going to help Stinson out here. We've got yellow flag in sector 3. Anything going on there? It's a Ferrari.
Yeah, the man has gone off.
Ooh.
His front wing is damaged. He's lost the front left end plate to his Ferrari. That will affect the amount of downforce he has. I think Havoc is going to try and take that opportunity as much as he can. I think Yan is coming into the pits. Yan is coming into the pits to try and get a new front wing.
And Havoc is 27 seconds behind, so with a wing change, that's going to be 27 seconds.
I think we're going to see another battle between Yan and Havoc.
Here comes Havoc now. Here comes Havoc. He's coming around the last corner. And Yan still hasn't got his wing changed yet. He's only moving out of his pit box now. Oh no, Yan had a penalty. Did he have a penalty that he was serving? That was a very long stop.
I think it was just the wing change. Ferrari is not too good at making those front wing changes in efficient amounts of time, we must admit. Because I'm pretty sure this game has been set to the most realistic expectations as possible.
Right, sorry, carry on.
I was just going to say that we have to expect a bit less from each team because there will be some little foibles that each team is not so good at setting when it comes to their pit stops, their car reliability, and stuff along those lines. Yan taking some aggressive curve around turn 4. Going into the grass, he almost lost it, but that was an effective recovery from him as the crowd, the AI crowd, goes nuts for that amazing move.
So one thing to point out here is Havoc, right? Because his best quali finish is 6th, his best race finish is 7th, and that means the most points he's ever got is just 6 points, I believe. 6 points. But right now he's going to finish in 5th. If he can keep Yan behind him for the next 11 laps, Yan's 7 seconds behind, Havoc might get his best finish for OFR Season 1 Division 1 today. So we'll have to keep an eye on that gap. It's currently at 6.8.
Havoc is coming into the pits as well.
Oh, okay. So forget what I said.
Yan is gonna get that position back that he lost to Havoc.
Okay, interesting.
As he goes around him, and there comes Yan going right past Havoc.
So
I think we're getting another Force India into the pits. I think we're getting AJ into the pits.
No.
The Force India.
No, it's not AJ. It's not AJ. But Stinson is actually coming up to the back of Leica now. So Stinson still hasn't lapped Leica as he sets the fastest lap of 1:21.3. This is why Stinson has gained less than a second on AJ, because he's been stuck behind Leica for so long. And Leica hasn't even received a blue flag yet, so it's not Leica's fault. I just think Stinson's off the pace right now.
Leica is very, very close behind his teammate Havoc. 1.9 seconds behind Havoc. I think Havoc came into the pits for a new set of mediums.
So it's not over for Leica. It's not over.
Leica has some hope. Come on, Leica. You can bring it home.
There you go. He's letting him pass, and he went a bit too much on the gravel there. Picks up a yellow flag in the second sector. No, he should be okay there. But Stinson is now passed, and he has got that gap down to 7.8 seconds. He's got 12 laps, including this one, to do it. So about 11.5 laps to make up 8 seconds on AJ. And remember, look up in the air right now. That does not look like a sunny day. And as you said, light rain will be coming at the end of the race.
I think that light rain is going to be coming a bit earlier than we expect. We might see a few drops of rain affecting this track. And in regards to rainy day races, how many have we had in the season so far?
How many races have we had on rainy sessions?
No, how many rainy sessions do you think we've had in the season so far? Because
0. So we didn't have. Oh, I tell you what, we had a wet qualifying in Australia, but I think that was it.
So these drivers are gonna have to go an extended period of time in the wet, and I think that's not gonna be good for their tires or their cars as well. Most of these drivers, I hear, are not too fond of racing in the wet. There was one, I'm not quite sure who, I think he was D2. He would have preferred if it was a wet race because he could barely set a time in the dry race. But we will just have to see how the rain affects these drivers' times and their performance.
And if you remember, Leica was 1.2 seconds or whatever behind his teammate. He's now 4.9, and Stinson is now on the back of Havoc, who's going to have to let him pass as well. But they're in a very... Oh, Havoc's lost it through turn 12, almost. But he managed to save it, I think. Yes, he did save it.
I think that might have helped Stinson a bit more than Leica had hoped, because Leica might have been hoping that his teammate would slow down on the outside like he did, so he would have a chance to overtake Havoc. But Havoc spinning out might have just been the edge that Leica needed, as he dropped down, as he brought the time down to 3 seconds from what was previously 5, I believe.
Ooh, and Havoc picks up a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings, probably corner cutting or exceeding track limits as well.
So as of right now, Leica being 2.8 seconds behind his teammate, Leica's already secured his 6th place finish. He just has to keep the gap close if he wants to ensure any possibility of him finishing in P6.
That's right. Now AJ is coming up to the back of his teammate AI again, so I think this is the 3rd time he's lapped him. Let's hope his teammate doesn't do anything stupid here.
His teammate not doing anything stupid. He almost crashed into him.
It was close. It was certainly close.
These AI, they have no mercy for any drivers that race in this game.
Correct, and there are going to be... Sorry, there are going to be 9 laps left as AJ comes through turn 16 now, and Stinson is just 6.4 seconds behind. So he's not doing enough, but that doesn't mean that he can't do enough later on. AJ's got 25% of his ERS left, whereas Stinson has 75% of his ERS. So maybe Stinson is just waiting to pounce at the end of the race, but again, the rain could play a part. It could play a part.
And Stinson is coming up on Santi's AI as of right now. You can see the speed if you even if you just spectate Santi, because if you see Stinson, you won't be able to see it as easily, but you can see the speed that Stinson is carrying through these turns. He's trying his best to close that gap.
Oh, rain! I can see spits of rain. Yes, there is raining. It is raining on track right now. So there are only 8 laps left, and there is rain. Who's going to be the
This is
first to
gonna be
pits? What's your
fun.
prediction?
I honestly think AJ isn't gonna risk it. AJ will not want to risk a pit stop this late into the race, this close to victory. Neither will Stinson. I feel like the first person to pit might be Yan. He has a 38-second lead over Havoc, so he might want to be he will be able to gamble his P5 position fairly easily because he does have that 38-second lead, and the average pit stop is roughly 20 seconds.
Yep, and AJ stayed out. Stinson has stayed out as well. Leica and Havoc are coming up to the back of Santi's AI. Santi's AI is really getting in the way of Havoc there. That's really annoying. But Leica's about to overtake. Yes, Leica's still within 3 seconds. He's actually gained a second now on Havoc, and I think that was Santi's AI's fault.
I apologize.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Leica is 1.3 seconds behind his teammate. I think he's going to try and take this opportunity to overtake him. Even though he is on a fairly older tire, he is still catching. He's moving up. He's now less than a second behind his teammate. Mats has gone into the pits.
Mats has pitted. Okay, let's ride on board with Mats and let's see what tires he's put on. He was the first of the pitters. Has he made a mistake?
He's going in on the intermediates. I think he's feeling confident. This is going to be interesting. There is some water kicking up behind him as he exits the pits.
But this is only going to work if it starts to rain a lot more. Otherwise, those intermediates are going to overheat in one lap, and he's going to have to pit again. The inters do not work on a dry track, and I don't think it's wet enough for inters right now, but we'll just have to wait and see.
If I jump on board with him, I think his tires are overheating already. He's at, in American, over 200 degrees. There's a sector 3 yellow flag.
Is that Leica? Havoc has spun!
Havoc has spun! Leica's overtaken Havoc!
And there goes Santi's AI again. Now, is Havoc going to come into the pits now? Is that a wet track issue, or was it just worn tires?
I don't know.
No, he's staying out. Tires. He's staying out.
It couldn't have been worn tires because his tires are only 4 laps old. He's not really making much progress against Santi's AI.
No, but look ahead. Stinson is 3.3 seconds behind. Santi's AI is really pushing Havoc here. What is going on?
Stinson is going to take advantage of this wet track. I can see the track. It's starting to affect the drivers a bit. A dry line is starting to form.
Here it is.
So slightly.
Here it is. Is AJ going to pit? He's gone. Yeah, you can tell already. They are so hesitant on that throttle as they're coming out of corners. Yes, AJ's losing out. He's losing out a second a lap right now. He needs to pit. AJ has to pit.
If AJ pits, then Stinson has basically secured. Yan has a 3-second time penalty, but that's not going to affect much. If Stinson,
AJ's staying out! AJ's staying out! Is Stinson staying out too?
AJ is not risking this race, not even for a little bit of rain. I think that is fairly smart of him, but in the end, his hubris might be his downfall. I don't think he's going to finish this race on the hard tires.
He's gone deep into turn 1 as well. His back is kicking out through turn 2
as well.
Stinson has got far better control, but what you have to remember is Stinson is on the controller, and it is easier to drive in the rain on a controller than it is a wheel. That's what you have to remember also.
Oh, he's in the sights. AJ is in Stinson's sights. He's trying his best. Havoc has retaken the place. I'm not sure.
Oh, Leica's pitted. Leica's pitted. Okay. So let's see Mats's time, because Mats is he?
Mats is having the time of his life on his own.
Yes, but he has the inters on, and he was the lab rat to see if the inters were a good choice. Yeah, I don't think they are. You can see how much understeer he's getting there.
Yan, 2 seconds behind him. That's dropped down to 1.5.
Oh, yellow flag in sector 2. Is that Leica again? Oh, Havoc. Havoc spun out. Havoc has spun on the exit of turn 4.
It is definitely the track. The track is starting to kick up some water, as you can see from the tires with any driver. Stinson, 1 second behind AJ. He's gonna try and get him in the DRS zone. I think if he has the possibility.
AJ's staying out again. He's down to 4.8 seconds. Stinson has DRS. Has AJ made a mistake? I don't think so because Max's tires were not turning into corners very well. Stinson is gaining so much right now.
Some late braking.
Very late braking
there. The tail of AJ. This is amazing. Yan also behind Mats. You can watch the first two. I'm gonna watch Yan and Mats right now. Yan is trying to catch up to Mats, who is on the intermediates, but Yan was having some trouble on these medium tires, and Mats has gone off. Yan has taken P4.
So these inters are not working for Mats, but the drivers ahead, Stinson is just 1/10 behind now. The drivers ahead are not working on the dry tires either. So what is AJ going to do? This is AJ's race to lose right now. He needs to make the decision. AJ's goal! Almost.
Go for it. I think Stinson was trying to stay behind to get that DRS because he knows for a fact that he can overtake AJ. I don't know what it is. He knows he can pass him. He just isn't.
So, Mats goes very wide again there.
AJ is spinning a bit, slightly.
I think Mats had a blue flag actually. So, I honestly do not know which tyre is best to be on because Mats has those intermediates on and he's driving so slowly right now. Is AJ going to pit? Right, here we go. I'm riding on board with Stinson. Let's see
I'll ride with AJ.
AJ's coming in, and Stinson is following. Okay.
Stinson's following. This is all going to come down to the wire.
Both of them get a bit of oversteer as they're coming into the pit lane, but they both get it stopped in time.
Amazing stop.
Now it's going to be this. This is all down to the pit crew right now. As we see, is that Leica? Leica's DNF'd. He's DNF'd.
Out.
Oh no!
Leica hit the wall on turn 7.
Oh no!
Stinson gets an amazing stop. But Leica's out, the AJ's out before him. This is some proper racing right here.
Virtual safety car, there's a virtual safety car and there's only 4 laps left including this one. And that's because Leica has stopped on track. That is so unfortunate, but that means that the one thing you do not want to do is have a virtual safety car on these inters because they're going to cool down too much and the track is not wet enough to keep them at their ideal temperature.
Now, this is an interesting tactic with Stinson, taking the tires through the marbles on the inside of the corner. That can really affect the tire wear. As Stinson is right on the tail of AJ, this is an amazing race so far. Stinson has the chance to get his very first win. Oh, is he going to go down the inside? He's a bit too far behind.
His back end. He's got a bit of oversteer as well. I'm telling you, this is now an inter-track. This is now an intermediate track. Drives will not survive here. Mats is just 4/10 behind. Yan as well. Oh, AJ's gone deep. AJ's gone a bit too deep. And Stinson looks down the inside, but he's not close enough. He's not close enough to get that overtake done now. Oh my goodness.
I don't know if Stinson's just messing with AJ's head and saying I can pass you, but I don't want to, or if he's legit having trouble because I've seen him. He's like eyeing down that inside line. Yan gets past. No, Mats gets past Yan. Right now,
Yan's in the pit. That's why Yan is in the pit. Now, Stinson has got his ERS set to overtake. He has got a massive slipstream, but he's not getting too close. He's going to have to dive bomb if he wants to overtake. Yellow flag in sector 2. Max is retired from the session. Oh my goodness, what happened to Max? Looks like it was outside of turn 9. Stinson loses the rear. Stinson loses the rear. AJ is got a good enough gap now. 1.5 seconds. If AJ can keep this clean, he's going to win this race now. That is unfortunate for Stinson.
Poor Stinson. He was eyeing down that inside line. You could just see him like, I want to take it, but I think he got a bit too cocky with that. I don't know what's going to happen. There isn't going to be a virtual safety car this late into the race.
No.
But I think this race is over unless Stinson can bring it back. He is still catching AJ ever so slightly.
But I think that was a big mistake from Stinson. That is showing you right now that AJ can handle the pressure. He goes very deep into turn 10, and again you can see Stinson braking so much later into turn 10. I have no idea how he does that. He's already gained 7/10. He's gained 7/10 on AJ already.
The rain is getting a bit harder. I think it's not going to be able to affect the track too much.
Stinson has closed it down!
Even on these intermediate tires, they're going to have some trouble on this now, what seems to be a fully wet track. Stinson kicking out the rear end of the car a bit. He's trying to get a slipstream. He's trying to get less drag, less downforce as he goes into turn 1. He's going to have to do some really late braking as he eyes the inside, but he's too far back. He is not going to be able to make it. This is quite a race. AJ goes a bit wide as they go into turn 3. Stinson is right behind AJ right now. 1.169, now 0.27. This is intense. AJ's gonna try and...
Stinson trying to do the cutback here, and he's not gonna get it done. Right, AJ only has to stay ahead for one more lap. AJ needs a perfect exit out of turn 16, otherwise Stinson is going to pounce. Now, this is where we saw them both get a little bit of slippage through turns 7, 8, and 9 here. Let's see if they can keep it this time. You can see again Stinson gets a tiny bit of oversteer. They are both lifting and no, they're both staying in 6th gear actually as they go through here. Stinson gets a far worse exit there. No, that was definitely a worse entry and exit into turn 9. But all AJ and again you can see how much Stinson is gaining into turn 10. How does he do it?
I think that might be the critical overtaking point for Stinson. At least in Sector 3, AJ seems to be having a bit of trouble. If we jump to him, he seems to be having a bit of trouble and a bit less confidence to go back on the throttle as soon as possible.
But this is it. Can Stinson get a better exit now? He's so close behind. Can he do it? I'm going to ride on board with Stinson's spectator just so I can see both of these drivers instead of one. Now Stinson is gaining. AJ's jumped to the inside, and can he do it? Stinson is looking down the inside, but he's not going to do it.
Down the inside.
No, AJ's kept it. AJ's kept it. No, good. It's fine. Carry on. AJ has kept it. Go ahead.
All right, AJ's going to be trying to defend as much as possible. He is experiencing some serious pressure from this young new driver, aka young Stinson, as they go down.
Oh, they're going around the outside. Stinson's going around the outside. No, he's going to do it! He's going to do it! Has he got it done? He has! He's got the inside line into turn 5! He's got the overtake done! He's done it! It's turn 5 on the last lap! Oh my goodness!
He's trying his best! He's trying to get that position back, but I don't think he's going to be able to. These are two extremely quick drivers.
Sector 2, Havoc has come off at the outside of turn 9. Could that play a part here? I don't think it will, but AJ is right behind Stinson right now. But as we know, Stinson has a far better entry into turn 10 than AJ does. And I think Stinson has got this done. That is so unfortunate for AJ, but there's still a few corners left.
These two drivers, they're amazing, but I think Stinson is going to take it home on this one on the intermediate tire as they go through a massive crowd of drivers.
Oh no! AJ's hit Havoc! AJ's hit Havoc and spun! Oh no! That was the only chance AJ could have done it, but I'm going to jump to Stinson now. Do you want to do it while he's crossing the line?
And there goes Stinson as he crosses the line in P1, his first win in OFR! Congratulations to Stinson as AJ follows behind in P2. That was an amazing last lap.
Yep, and Matt, unfortunately, is in 3rd place, but he crossed the line before Stinson did, so he's got another lap to go. So we're going to just ride on board with Mats for now. As he finishes his lap, he will be the last driver, but wow, what a battle between Stinson and AJ. They were both so respectful, so respectful. That is ultimate driving here at OFR, and that's what we want to see every single race.
That was quite a final lap battle. I think that might be the highlight of the race, this final lap battle between Stinson. This was an amazing drive for Stinson, coming in from what seemed to be the back of the pack. Even though Matt was retired, oh, there goes my controller. Even though Matt's retired early on in qualifying and he wasn't able, but from P8 to P1 in the McLaren, what a feat. Stinson has just done an amazing feat. Wow. Honestly, that was an amazing race. Congratulations to all the drivers for their finish. Congratulations to Stinson on P1, your first win of the season. Congrats to AJ as well. What an amazing fight. That last lap was a bit disappointing, when he crashed into Havoc, but all in all, an amazing race.
Absolutely amazing. Now, as always, the rain is... This is why we have our weather set to dynamic, because the rain brings in such a dynamic itself into the race, and it is so entertaining. And you got to remember that the only assist that the drivers are allowed to use is racing line in corners only. They don't have traction, they don't have ABS, they don't have anything other than a racing line in corners. And that is some professional driving from AJ and Stinson there, and the rest of the drivers too. What an absolutely amazing race. Now, Figgy and I will be racing in D2 in about 45 minutes time, and Lika and Havoc will be commentating there. So hopefully you guys will join us there too, and you can watch the second division race here in Spain. It's going to be even more entertaining. There's going to be more drivers there because not a lot of those drivers are ill, and it's going to be a hell of a race to watch. Any final words, Figgy?
Yes, real quick, Stinson, driver of the day, no doubt, because of that amazing performance, starting 8th on the grid and bringing it home for his first win of the season. Congratulations to all the drivers. That was an amazing drive, and we will see you all next time.
Absolutely.
OFR D1.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys, and see you in 45 minutes time.